Good morning. So we're closing out August, and XRP's been holding in a pretty tight range. I did hit below the 275 mark, which is the area where I was looking at to start picking up some more. So we'll see. Let's take a peek today. It is Monday, so today is Labor Day. I know I was trying to shoot for like Sundays to do some of the recording, but I think some of that doesn't fall within the schedule. So I'm gonna try Monday mornings. See if that can help you guys as well too. As far as getting ready for the week, and or I can do Saturday. So we'll shoot for Monday mornings and see how that works out. It's a little bit better for my schedule. I just have to get up a little bit earlier, and then we'll do some TAs and breakdowns for the week. But yeah, it's September 1st, and let's take a look at some of the key levels today, for what's to come for September and what we're going to be looking for in general. I did just come back from Chicago yesterday, and so we've got some recording done over there. I'll show you guys kind of like what it was like. It's my first time in Chicago, so it was pretty cool. Really enjoyed it. I went out there for my cousin's wedding. Just turned it into a trip. So let's see how we are doing. Let me pull this up and then show you guys. Switch over here. And then we'll look at crypto bubbles. So for the day, we are in the red. Let's take a look at for the week. We are also in the red. And XRP 276. I picked up some at 280, and then also I think like 285, so a little bit earlier, but it's all good. And then we've got for the month, we are sitting in the green. Overall, XRP still sitting in the red, almost 3%. For the year, 388% up. So not too bad. And then let's look at coin market cap. All right, so for we are at the fear. So people are fearful right now, and it is a correction. I'll show you guys here in a bit too when we pull up some of the Webull charting and look at some of the moving averages that are going around that. But right now we're 50-50 with altcoin season. Let's look at XRP. So we are down here at the low. It hit 270, about 270, and then 276. And this whole week or this month, let's take a look. Yeah, 271, roughly. And any other cool news going on? So we've got whales boosting up the holding. Institutional demand continues to grow. Then we've got Ripple CTO reveals how RUSD liquidity pool protects XRP holders. Okay. So Mr. David Schwartz, he's offered some details to explain some of this and how it all works. I'm not going to go too into of this, but we've got a lot of support, guys. There's a lot of movement going on. It's slow season, so we'll see how things are going to pick up. But I'm picking up. I'm starting to load up even some more. So for both my short plays and my moon bags. So that's the plan. I'm going to keep on picking them up. Let's take a look at Webull real quick. Where'd you go, Webull? I have to do like an update, so. Markets are closed today. 275. So the next range is that I'm going to be looking at. We got 4 hours. Jeez, down. Okay, let's do this guy here. So next support 270, the next road down 259. 259 is where we could go down to, 259. There's just so much support here that 275, 270, I think that's a good support range area. I don't see much volume at the 259 actually. It's like a push up, so maybe some here, and then leg down after that. The range is 220, so 259, 255. I think it's gonna be probably gonna be the holding point at the next legs down, and then the legs up. We're gonna be sitting around, your 285, bump up. $3 always a good range, and then after that we're gonna keep all of our current marks and legs here. So these are all the different milestones and goals that we'll go after. And then 360, of course, is going to be at the top, and see if we can actually break that. But we'll see how this week's going to look. That's why I'm going to be shooting for. If it goes down, then I'm going to look for like 255, 259 range. If we sit pretty even, then I'm going to see how it looks when it goes up. And again, moon bag, I'm gonna start loading up more. Picked up some for my short plays at 282, 280. So I'll probably continue to dollar cost average, down into it if it continues to go down. And anything below that, I'm just gonna cut my losses. I think below 250, because if it goes below that, then it's gonna be a long leg down to like around like 220. That's the range right there. So that's what I'm going to be looking for this week, guys and gals. And I am going to enjoy the Labor Day off. Let's see how the market's going to be tomorrow. I think this whole week's probably going to be like very volatile. It's going to be up and down just because it's a short week. Also with the market too. I wonder. Let's see what. Ether. See how Ether's doing. It's the Ethereum ETF. I've been doing a wheel on this, so I'm doing some cash secured puts to get my premiums. I will probably open one up tomorrow, but yeah, it's still flat, so we're doing good. When we're doing the wheel, this is what you want to see, like huge volatility, but you're gonna get a lot of premium from that. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we want to chat about. Anything else cool? There was another thing that I was looking at. It wasn't just the bubbles. Yeah, it was right here. Market cap and day, that's what it was. Okay, so we got XRP, still the third. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, second in line. And then we've got Solana, BNB. Look at that, TRX, Tron. I remember when I initially got into this. How much is it now? 34 cents? Okay. Not too bad. All right. Cool. That's where we're at today, guys. I haven't heard anything else. Actually, here, that's a good point. Let me see. Is crypto and any news coming up? So let's check out Perplexity. I almost forgot that. 277, 276, that's the normal range that we're sitting at. Current price 277 to 281. September opens, reflecting a small drop, about 2% over the last 24 hours, and a decline of 4 to 6% decline over the past week. So the trend is XRP is under pressure, slipping below key support of 280, and then analysts warn a break of 277 and could trigger further 10% drop to 250. Okay, that's exactly what I was charting and what I'm thinking about, and possibly lower support at 226. So yeah, watch for this range, guys and gals. The volume for and again, this is all just for the short term, right? For all of us XRP investors, like this is the stuff that you want to be watching in between, but don't let it, get to your mind, right? We're watching all of this to stay relevant and understand what's happening in between. But if you, if this is getting to you, what you do is just dollar cost average and then get at all the points that you want to, and don't pay too much attention to some of this. But I want to stay relevant. I want to watch what's going on and understand the charts, just because it's fun for me, and so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Let's take a look at this, make sure everything's still good. All right, we're good. And we've got market overview. So we've got Bitcoin at 108 to 109, a losing streak in August. So historically, it's been a red September anyways. So we're going to see some potentially more red. And then once October, November starts picking up, that's usually when everything starts picking back up in general, for the whole market. Some of the key catalysts and upcoming news. So we've got regulatory clarity, continued anticipation around spot ETFs approvals. Not too much happened, within the week. And then we've got major assets like Ethereum could boost sentiment in September. So we've got Fed policy. All of us are waiting for September Fed meeting, and then watching interest rate signals for potential dovish surprises. Rate cuts hope remain a macro driver for risk assets, including crypto. So all of this, ties together. How the stock market does, usually the crypto market follows. And we've got institutional flows, high volume liquidations balancing in August. And then we've got a couple product launches for altcoins to launch. I don't know too much about these, so I'm not going to go over it. But we've got some upgrades and more banking partnerships. So this is going to be the key elements, for all of the fundamentals for all of us longer term investors. And we've got forecasts for $3+ by October. So that's going to be the ranges. We've got a downtrend right now, but great time to look at the resistance level. Just pay attention. And if your goal and your plan is to buy more, now's the time. Consider. I'm not a financial advisor, just some dude that's spitting out what he knows, and this is what I'm doing, right? So you guys can, use this for educational purposes and make sure that we're staying up to date with the market. So yeah, we're gonna continue doing what we're doing every single week. Look at all of this as opportunities, and continue on with the bullish perspective. With XRP changing the whole financial institution, the whole market, as the backing and as the infrastructure of how things work. All right, guys. So enjoy your long weekend. I hope you had some time to rest, and catch you guys in the next video. So I'll be discussing and showing you guys, how the trip in Chicago went. All right, catch you later. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what days you guys think is best, to do some of the TA sessions and reviews. I'm still debating between the right times. I just want to make sure that I'm at least capturing one viewer. If I'm catching one viewer, then I'm going to continue doing this. I'm doing it anyway, so I'm just going to share with you guys. All right, thank you. Catch you later.